Let's move on to topic number 7. Topic number 7 is another one, and honestly, I think this is a bigger shocker in my opinion. And maybe someone can join in the live chat and maybe, chime in and let me know what you think about these moves here by Lincoln Riley to USC and now Brian Kelly from Notre Dame to LSU. Just broke over the last, I believe, 48 hours that Brian Kelly is saying see you later to Notre Dame football and is the new head coach of LSU football. Man, big news, honestly. Big shock to me that he was willing to leave Notre Dame, a school with, we know, such a rich history in football. They don't even have to win, and they can still recruit well because people want to go and play in that gold helmet, go to Notre Dame, go to South Bend, and enjoy the rich history there. Kind of have a Rudy-like moment, per se. If you haven't seen the movie Rudy, you should just leave this show, by the way, at this point. And you should also go watch the movie Rudy, because if you haven't, I'm really disappointed in you. But like I said, that's what Notre Dame's famous for, that gold dome, that gold helmet, and a rich history of football. And Brian Kelly has just said, I'm out of here. I'm going to leave that behind, and I'm going to LSU, and I'm going to see what we can do there. And guess what? LSU's got a rich history as well. And most recently, they've been better than Notre Dame, and they've recruited better than Notre Dame. They've been in the mix for the college championship. I believe Notre Dame's only been up there once or twice over the last 10 years, where LSU, I believe, has been up there 3 or 4 times over the last 10 years, having a chance to be in the college playoff, having a chance to go and win the bowl, the big game, the national championship. And so I do believe that Brian Kelly just believes that he can recruit better at LSU, a team that we all know is in the SEC, the powerhouse conference of college football. When we're talking about Big 5 football, the SEC is the king of Big 5 football. And LSU has been great in the SEC over these last few years. So I really do think that Brian Kelly believes that he can recruit and bring LSU back to the forefront. And he's still got to battle the likes of, obviously, Georgia, who is dominating currently this season, and still Alabama, who just seems to reload and get the best recruiting class year after year after year. So I've still got to give the nod to Nick Saban in the SEC right now, but Kirby Smart obviously doing an amazing job over at Georgia right now, and we're going to see those two face off in the SEC championship game this weekend, which is going to be amazing. But I'll tell you what, LSU doing a good job once again, going out and getting a great coach to fill their program and to fill that vacancy of the head coaching job. And I do think Brian Kelly is going to bring this team back to notoriety, and I do think he's going to get some recruits. And it's curious to see, just like with Lincoln Riley, how we had some recruits decommit from Oklahoma and move right over directly to USC. Are we going to see some recruits that are just going to say, I'm going to be out of here, Notre Dame. I'm going to decommit from Notre Dame, and I'm going to recommit to LSU. So I think that's going to be the news that we have to watch here over the next 72 hours is the player movement and the player portal, which right now the player portal is just blowing up. And we call that the player portal is the transfer portal for anybody that doesn't know. Players looking to transfer from one school to another. And it's blowing up right now, and it's mainly because of these coaching moves across the board, with these two being the biggest of them all. And like I said, big shock to me that Brian Kelly was willing to leave Notre Dame behind, but he did. Really curious to see what he can do at LSU. Let's move on to topic number 8.